ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be back with you guys on this tricky Wednesday here in Chicago. It got to the mid 50s today. Actually, very wonderful weather, as if spring it would be in the air. And tomorrow we're expecting a snowstorm here in Chicago. So I just said on social media that it seems as if we're living in the book of Revelations right now. I don't know. 50, almost 60 degrees one day and snow the next, but that is Chicago. Tonight, we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. As I told you guys, this entire week on the show is dedicated to literacy, and we're paying homage to African-American book authors. Coming on the show this evening is our good friend, legendary radio broadcaster, talk show host, and humanitarian, Bonnie DeShong, and she's going to have a conversation with us tonight about the best Black authors that the world has ever seen. And so we all are going to chime in on who we thought were amazing authors. And then later on in the show, we have a world-renowned health and fitness wealth expert. Now, does that make sense? Health and fitness wealth expert. She believes that your health is the secret to your wealth. Joining us is Susan Smith Jones, holistic health educator. And tonight she's going to talk to us about 12 surefire stress busting tips to create a more harmonious life. More harmonious life. And speaking of creating a more harmonious life, is our co-host who could not be here with us last night because she had a hot mess situation going on. And so that's why I had to get somebody like Susan to help with those situations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, our girl, Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Because see, last night this time, you was about to pop a cap in somebody's you know what. You was ready to pop a cap. How are you, honey? Welcome back.
Thank you, sweetie. And good evening to our listening audience. It is our Friday. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah,
yesterday, it was a normal day. As I mentioned on Monday, my big brother, Chat Daddy, took me refrigerator shopping. I had purchased a refrigerator. It was scheduled to be delivered yesterday, y'all, between 2:30 and 6:30. Well, guess what happened?
What?
That didn't happen. And so I'm calling the store saying, where the hell is my refrigerator? And they couldn't tell me anything because Lowe's does not have a delivery service. They have a contract with a different delivery transportation service in which they deliver appliances to their customers. So not only were they late, almost over an hour, when they arrived, the two delivery people of Hispanic descent, one of them who claimed to be this Mr. Know-It-All, he comes into my home. Now, mind you, I don't like people coming in my home past 5:00. When the sun goes down, if I don't know you, you ain't getting into my house.
Oh, because I was getting ready to say, now wait a minute. I thought you wanted a cuddle buddy, and I'm like, the cuddle buddy may not be
able to know the cuddle buddy. They wasn't no damn cuddle buddies, Art.
Okay, I digress. I'm sorry, ma'am. I just was trying. Look, I was trying to have one of them view moments, one of them like they have on The View. Okay, so very good. Go ahead, ma'am.
So when they arrived, and let me just say, give thanks to 3 women, actually 4, my 3 sisters and my lovely goddaughter calling me from Peoria, Miss Simone. Love you, sweetheart, if you're listening, because she kept me calm and just kept me safe and sane. Because let me tell you, and let me forget my big brother Art, because he's calling and texting. He said, what can you do? I said, you're gonna need to get another person because I'm not gonna be able to do the show tonight. They come in almost 7:30ish. They bring in my new refrigerator. Then before they do that, they look at the old refrigerator, and Joker Juan says to me, I can't disconnect this. I don't know how to do this.
Lord have mercy. Lord, Lord, Lord. Wow.
And as God is my witness, I'm sure my ancestors, and today would have been my grandmother, my nana's 108th birthday. I'm sure she
Oh
probably felt like,
no.
oh, I got to come down and call my granddaughter because she about to go the F off. When
Oh
he
boy.
said he couldn't unhook disconnect the cord from the water line. He had the nerve to ask me, well, do you know how to do the water line? Duh. What are you here for? So not only did they not remove my old refrigerator, they left my new refrigerator in the middle of my living room. And so I had to call Lowe's, the manager, and just literally, I almost cussed him out and said, then he had nerve to say, well, ma'am, you have to call the customer service number. I said, no, 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 no. You will call the customer service number. You will arrange for me to get someone to bring their tail who has some expertise to my house to unhook and remove the old refrigerator and install the new refrigerator. Okay? And I was just so angry and so tired. After that, I had to go to sleep. And and
Wow.
kudos to Miss Lolita Bonaparte because I had one of her cookies. I had almost the cold cookie, so I needed to go to sleep.
Oh damn. Wow.
So that
Woo.
was my evening yesterday. But you know what? God is good, and you have to look things at half full versus half empty. Given the fact that I have my new refrigerator in the middle of my living room, I said, well, let me plug this baby up, see if it works. Guess what it does? So I have I have a brand new refrigerator. As you called me, I'm that bougie one.
Yes. 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 Well, I'm so glad that worked out for you. I am glad that you're back with
It,
us this evening. Thank you to Bonnie DeShong for doing just a
yes,
phenomenal job last night.
yes,
When she comes on in
yes.
just a little bit, we'll thank her as well too. And I'm
Oh
just so
my
glad
goodness,
that God was able to provide you with a new refrigerator and everything, is working for the greater good. They'll be
absolutely.
there Saturday to assist you, and
They will
that's just wonderful. So don't forget
because
you got your show Saturday. So you don't want that to coincide with your show.
don't worry, we're gonna
Yes.
make it happen. I'm not,
Okay.
at this point, Art. I'm just grateful, as I said, and I
Yeah.
forgot, and I shared this with a colleague that
Uh-huh.
I didn't put anything down in my gratitude journal because that's something that everyone needs to have as a gratitude journal. Find one thing that you're grateful for and write it down each day. And I have
Right.
been doing that for 9 years. I did not follow my own advice last night. I have to think of something to make up for last night for tonight as well. So,
Yes.
but God
All
is
right.
good. I'm back. I
Very good.
missed you guys
Okay.
though.
Oh,
I
well,
missed
thank
you.
you. So glad you're back. Glad it all worked out for your greater good. And so, as you guys all know, we're a health and wellness show. So, each and every night, we bring you the latest COVID-19 numbers as they pertain to the state of Illinois. Tonight is no exception. Illinois public health officials reported 3,323 new confirmed cases of COVID. Unfortunately, we had 104 additional fatalities as of Wednesday due to COVID. Have now been 3,000,007 seven I can't even say it. Okay, 3,007,987 new cases because I'm so used to it being triple numbers, but it's
Right.
3,007,987 total cases, including 32,176 deaths in the state since the beginning of the pandemic. The great news is our positivity rate is down to 3.6. And as of
Wow.
Tuesday night, 1,683 patients in the state of Illinois are reported to be in the hospital battling COVID-19. Of those patients, 313 are in the ICU, 153 of those patients are battling COVID on a ventilator. And
Wow.
so I am so sad to hear, the death number is as high as it is. That keeps going up and down. The day before it was low. Today, yesterday it was high. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. a lot to be said. And then we do want to extend our deepest condolences to singer and actor Tyrese. He lost his mom recently to COVID-19.
Yes.
He was actually on the set of the movie Fast and Furious number what, 854? Honey, that's the
pretty
only
much
movie franchise I know that have taken them men from teenagers to now senior citizens. But go ahead with y'all bad self. He actually got a call while on set filming the movie that his mom had been rushed to the hospital, was not doing well. He got to her side and she passed away as a result of COVID. So we're so sorry to hear that. Okay, Renee, what do you think about that?
You know, it's interesting. You talked about the numbers, the decrease in the positivity rate, but I still don't understand why we're having so many deaths. Because you would think it should be a parallel. If the positivity rate is low, if the hospitalizations are low, then why are we still having the death rate is not low? It's higher.
Right.
I just don't. I don't get that.
Right. I don't either. When we have Dr. Seabrook on, I'll have to talk because it just, you wonder how many other deaths happen in accordance of that in the course of that day. And because then that means there are far more people dying. I wonder on the average how many people die in Chicago per day. You know what I'm saying? What is a high, low? I will have to talk to someone in mortuary science about the numbers of that, but I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Okay. All right. Well, we got that out of the way. Another thing, if you've happened to lose a loved one as a result of COVID, families in the state of Illinois who have lost loved ones to COVID are now eligible for up to $9,000 to cover the funeral costs. And this is from FEMA. With funeral home contracts and other documents showing their increase in COVID-related funeral expenses. So now funerals are even more expensive than what they were because of the pandemic. There is a grant for people or a pot to give people some money. So far, FEMA has received 16,305 applications for funeral cost coverage as of February 7th. Which of that 10,499 or 645 of the applications have been approved. More than 71 million has been awarded to families already, and they're receiving the average of about $6,841. With Illinois reporting more than 30,000 confirmed deaths at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of you guys should apply for this fund. And if you do need to apply for this fund, here is the number right there. Contact FEMA at 844-684-6333, or you can visit FEMA's website for more information. But if you're in the state of Illinois, you've lost a loved one to COVID, struggling to pay for that funeral, whatever the case may be, the state may be able to help you cover that, or the government, FEMA may be able to help you cover that. Okay?
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. We wanted to make everybody aware of that. All right, Kay Renee, what you got in the news for us tonight? Glad to be back with the gossip and all the hot news stories and everything that goes with it.
Well, I don't know if you talked about one of the great goats, Simone Biles. She got she was engaged on Valentine's Day.
Yes, she woke up.
I mean, after everything she's gone through, it's nice to see her smile.
It is. It really is. It's a beautiful thing.
It is really nice to see her smile.
Right. Yes, I couldn't agree more.
You. But let's see what else I got. Oh, I don't know if y'all talked about this, but over on across the pond, it seems like Prince Andrew has settled the case with accuser Virginia, I think, Giuffre. Now, he kept saying, I didn't do this. It was consensual, yada, yada, yada. Well, to promote or to prevent further embarrassment to the royal family, he has reached an out-of-court settlement in the sexual assault case against him. So I wonder what she got, because I'm sure she got some serious coins.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, when something like that happens, they were saying that he had to sell one of his chalets. Somebody said that they also believe that the mom had to put up quite a bit of money. The queen is just like any other mother. When the son gets in trouble, she does what she can to help the son out. But, he's been stripped of a lot of his duties. He's been, so I don't know. I really, interesting in many ways about how that will all pan out. I'm so sorry for the victim and what happened to her and any victim, of this type of situation. But I'm sure, there's a clause in there where she can't ever talk about this and just move on with her life. And he'll just continue, I hate to say it, but it's almost, admission to have done something wrong.
Well, think about this. He was married to Fergie. So it makes
Yes.
you wonder, too, that she may have known something about him as well. That's why she was like, you know what? Deuces.
Right.
I'm
That's
out.
right. Yes. Yes. We're actually going to talk to some women about marriage and the highs and lows of marriage towards the end of the month, or either Women's History Month. But we're going to talk to ex-wives and current wives.
Well, I'm a good ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
A happy ex-wife.
Oh, okay, good. That's what right. I hope to never join that club. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, I hope to never join that club, but okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. What else do you have for us tonight?
Let's see what I have in my now, what is this story about? Hey, Crystal. Good evening, sweetie. Wendy Williams. She can't get out of the news cycle for nothing. I guess she's getting talk about exes. She trying to get back with her ex-husband. I don't get that, because I'm gonna say this. Yes, they getting close again. Now, I'm gonna say this publicly. I've said this to my tribe. I've said it to even a few family members. If you ever see me with my ex-husband, y'all call Bellevue, call every other funny farm, because it's not that something I've lost it. Okay. And when reading the article about Wendy, apparently she has no friends, which is kind of sad. I mean, you think as strong as Wendy is, to me, I think she's a very strong woman, but not to have any girlfriends. That when her mother died, she really had no one to turn to but Kevin. And her son. So now that she is going through this health crisis, this financial crisis, she's turned into her ex-husband.
Well, I said this to a dear friend recently. I said, is it better to be with the devil you do know versus being with the devil you don't know? My friend, I know what you're getting ready to say. I know what you're getting ready to say. How about I'm not with the devil at all?
Thank you very much.
But in any relationship, there is some devilment. There is some foolishness. There is something. Nobody is made perfect. Nobody. So there is some devilment in everything. Is it better to be with the devil you do know, i.e., her ex-husband or estranged husband, Kevin, versus now you got to go out and meet somebody else who will possibly be a devil or prey on her? So that's why I'm trying to figure out, how that will all work,
All I got to say is I be with the devil that you know, Crystal.
That's right. That's right. Look, that's right, baby. I'd rather be with the devil I already know.
I'm gonna have to say no on that, because no. Absolutely not. I'd rather not have a devil at all and just surround myself with angels if possible. But one of your I don't know who made the comment that she trashed her girlfriend. See, that's something, when you're married, you want to thank you, Scorpio love. You want to at least try to have a good relationship with your girlfriends, because you just never know when you may need them.
Right. Yeah. I know somebody recently that kind of has misplaced their girlfriends, and I just think, wow, that's interesting to me. Like, what happened and what was the change and the dynamic of the situation that made it change and all of that. But, you know, sometimes people just do these things. And I don't know if it's trying to be grandiose. I don't know if it's, you know, wanting to one up somebody for some particular situation. But I don't get that, because I would hope to keep my friends, you know, through whatever relationships, you know, that I would go into. So, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
So, but I mean, the thing about it, my main thing for Wendy is I want her to get better. I want her to be whole and to
Right.
have clarity so she can move on with her life. And if
Yes.
he helps her during this time, God bless them both.
Yes. Well, you know, it had been said earlier today, it's a joke running around on social media that ever since Tabitha Brown went off on Wendy and told her, you know, I hope God is with you, Wendy ain't been right since. So I tell people I watched Tabitha Brown become an overnight sensation. And so, right, look, sip. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Right. So when is the Sherry Shepherd show? Is all I can say too. Crystal
and
says sometimes the man encouraging them to keep them away.
oh, that
I
happened
do
in my and that happened in my relationship with my ex-husband. So that's
really.
why oh yes.
Oh no,
Yeah. Oh
no,
yes.
no. My mate has got to get along with all my friends, male or female,
I mean, yes.
for
He
the
didn't
most
like me.
part. They're not forcing it.
He didn't like me being with my parents. Oh
Oh,
yes.
mm-mm.
Oh yes.
Oh boy, you really
Mm.
did pick a you really did pick a Prince Charming.
So I thought.
Right. Well, you know, it happens. It happens. You know, I'm glad you receptive and open to, you know, new love and new
Oh, of
opportunity.
course.
And you
It
know,
but it
yeah.
but it takes a toll on you emotionally, and it takes time to get back to know you. And, when you talked about daytime Chicago reciprocity, and see now
Yes.
I'm older and I'm a lot wiser. And the bottom line is this, and we'll say this throughout the show and many times: you've got to love yourself first. You can't
Right.
expect love to come into your life if you don't love self first.
Yes. Yes. Well, the pandemic actually taught me that. The pandemic taught me that's being in solitude, not
Mm-hmm.
talking to a country every night anymore,
Mm-hmm.
just things being so different. The pandemic taught me that. And the one thing that I had said during the pandemic is that I did not want to go through another tragic situation alone, or another, isolation
Right.
situation alone. And so that's
Right.
what helped me move forward after, as we move through this pandemic. So
I
that's how
agree.
it works. Yeah, that's how it works. Absolutely. All right. What else do we have before we have to run on to our next? Oh, by the way, today is National Wine Day. So for all of you
Yes.
all that are wine lovers, grab yourself a glass of wine and do your toast tonight. I'm drinking water right now, but I will have me a glass of wine later on, and I might drink really fermented wine, cognac. So, right. So I might have that later on. But yes,
And
happy.
also, and as we continue to celebrate Black History Month, today is International Black Aviators Day. And one of our dear friends wrote a beautiful article about Black aviation, our friend Tammy Gibson. So definitely, if you're able to check it out, because we don't, we hear about Tuskegee Airmen, wonderful. But what about Bessie Coleman? Right? She was born here in Chicago, so Tammy really delves into Black aviation. So today is International Black Aviators Day.
And by the way, since it is Black Aviators Day, we want to give a very special shout out to our friends up to the north. Air Canada recently flew an all well, you can't say African American because they're not African American, an all Black crew. So both of the pilots in the cockpit were Black, all of the 8 flight attendants were Black, and they were on a wide body jet from Toronto to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I know it had to have been full. because it's that
yes.
time of the year for people to go visit Florida. But it was an
Yes.
all black crew, and it was so much diversity in the origins of each of the black on the flight crew that you had somebody from all over the world, but they were all
Wow.
of African descent. And it was just amazing. So shout out to Air Canada for that historic flight of an all black crew. You can't say African American, it's black, right?
Have you
Yes,
flown
black.
Air Canada, by the way?
I have flown
Yes,
Air
me
Canada. I
too.
flew Air Canada from Toronto. No, from what's the place? The island, Bermuda. I flew from
Okay.
Bermuda to Toronto, Toronto to Chicago, and then I
Okay.
flew Air Canada to France. I flew them to France.
Nice. I've
Yes,
flown if because I love Canada, and I
yes.
still say if I could sing the song "Oh Canada," I would.
Okay.
But I've flown from Chicago to either Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. Oh yes,
Yes.
love me Canada. I love Canada.
Yes. Very good. So, all right. Anything else before we move on?
Well, let's see. Oh, uh, well, Chris Cuomo. Well, apparently, before he was let go, he's also faced some assault allegations. So yeah, that's really sad because I liked Chris. I think he had a different viewpoint of the news. I liked the banter between him and Don Lemon, and to find out, one he was let go, and then to find out had he's been accused of sexual assault. This is just, I'm wondering about them Cuomo boys.
I am too. It makes you wonder. It really
It
does
makes you
make you wonder.
wonder what's going
Yes.
on.
Yes, it does.
I just, I feel for the Cuomo wives. How about that? Or the
I
girlfriends
do
of the
too.
Cuomo boys.
Yes, yes.
I
That's
just
a
got to
name
shake my
that
head.
is so tarnished. Crystal agrees. Chris Como, it was awesome.
He
Yes, he was.
was.
He really was. But it just goes to show you how greed, sex, and any of those devices, as they would call it, as my auntie would say, them vices,
Mm-hmm.
can bring men down like that. Powerful men of great stature, and for them to lose it all is just incredible, you know.
Yeah. And before we start, there's a story out there. I know if you because Academy Award season is coming about. The movie King Richard's up for Best Oscar. Well,
Yeah.
apparently King Richard grandson committed suicide. I was
No,
like,
when?
let's
And
see, when
how
did
old
this
was the
happen?
grandson?
21.
Okay, so
He
do
never
you?
he never met his famous aunts, but his mother, Sabrina, yeah, and she's the half sister of the first wife. So Richard Williams married twice. So this grandson uh is the grandson from the first marriage, right? But yeah, this is really sad.
Oh my! Here's the bigger thing that we need to look at: this pink elephant in the room. Again, you said 21 years old.
Yes.
Regina King's son, 26 years old. We are
Yes.
hearing more and more stories of young people committing suicide in their teens and early 20s. And even the young lady that was the Miss America, and how she was devastated
Presley.
by
Right.
turning 30 years
30.
old.
Right. Right.
30. Imagine being, well, I'm you ageless, but imagine being my age. You know what I'm saying?
I
Girl, and you kill yourself because you turning 30?
and here's the interesting part about this grandson. Apparently he had what is called PD, or Peyronie's disease.
Oh,
And you know what Peyronie's disease is,
no, I
right?
don't know what Peyronie's disease.
When a man has his curvature in his on his manhood, there's another word that some women call it
Oh,
when
a
it
hook. A hook. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I never knew that. It's got wait. Okay, so wait now, Lord,
It's
I'm so confused. I'm so confused. So the grandson that committed suicide.
he had a recent diagnosis of Peyronie's disease, or PD. And PD is a curvature of the penis. That's right, Platika. That's what Peyronie's disease is.
Girl,
You
okay.
didn't know that? You didn't know what that
No,
means?
no, no, no,
I've
no.
I know a few men who have that.
Well, I know
Yeah.
of curved penises now. I know of those,
Yes.
but I didn't
Yes.
know a curved penis had a actual diagnosis.
That's what it's called.
Oh, and it's called what again?
Peyronie's disease, PD.
Okay, so that means I'm gonna have to get back on daytime TV and teach everybody that one.
Okay.
Right, since reciprocity is trending right now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Webster Dictionary. I bought reciprocity back. Single-handedly, I bought reciprocity back in a 5-minute segment.
Sure
Yay.
did.
Shout out to reciprocity. Yeah.
Shout out.
So okay, all right. Let me see.
We'll have to talk to Dr. Janet about that. That's something we
Yes,
can talk
we
about.
will.
That.
Yes,
Yes.
we will. Absolutely. Okay. In my generation, women were marrying anyone. They were, oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
I
Because
tell people,
I got married close to 30.
really?
I wasn't 30. I wasn't 30 when I was turning 30 that year when I got married.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, here's the deal. I tell people a lot of our great grandparents and grandparents, and even some of our parents, they may not have been in love with each other. It was a matter of survival back then of why they married each other. It wasn't necessarily, it was a matter of need to move forward, or I'm trying to move to the north. I need somebody to take care of me. A lot of those men that had those railroad pensions, they needed somebody to be able to get the pension, insurance policies, all of that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Marriage was a business. I mean, you did find people that did love each other, but for the most part, these people got married because it was a business.
That's right. And I mean, think about it. There's something to be said about arranged marriages.
Right.
A lot of cultures do. There's something to
Yes.
be said about that.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, with that,
see, we learn something new every day. PD.
We do.
So now y'all know what PD stands for.
I wonder if Bonnie knows what that stands for. Maybe when she come on, we'll ask her. She loves to
ask her.
Yes, maybe we can take her out of the professional lady realm and see if she can answer that question. Bonnie goes with the flow. She really does. All right, but for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this Wednesday evening. It is our Friday, hump day for most of you guys. Don't forget tomorrow, if you're in the Chicagoland area, we're, I guess, expecting some type of wild weather. It was mid-50s today here in Chicago, and tomorrow they talking about it's going to be a snowstorm. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if you are in the Chicagoland area, make sure you prepare yourself for the morning commute as well as the evening commute home. Yes. And then it's going to be back in the 40s over the weekend.
Yep, go figure.
So it's going to be like beautiful weather over the weekend.
Go figure.
Oh, go figure. All right. Well, as we've been saying this entire week, we have been dedicating this show to Black literacy as well as Black authors. And so last night, our co-host, who ended up being our last minute co-host, was originally scheduled to be our guest tonight, because when it comes to reading, I have, back in the day, I used to have so many friends that were just voracious readers. They would read. Mm-hmm. I remember being on the number 6 Jeffrey bus, and every woman on the bus would have a book up reading. You'd be on the red line train. Every sister had a book in front of her. I could tell by just the covers who they were reading, all of that. Well, guess who still does that to this very day? Still does that to this very day. and we are honored to have her here with us tonight. Bonnie is a icon in the radio industry. She's a talk show host. She's a humanitarian. She's my dear friend. And tonight she's also here to talk about the importance of teachers. A lot of us had that teacher that made a difference in our life. And so we're going to start our conversation off talking about that tonight. And then we're going to talk about some of our favorite authors. Let's welcome back to the show our friend, the one and only Miss Bonnie DeShong.
Hey!
Hercules!
Hey, Bonnie.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Happy Wednesday, darling.
Hi, Bonnie. Thank you so much for filling in last night, because I'm sure Art told you the story. I'm surprised I'm not in jail. God dog it.
It was a mess.
Girl, when he called me, it was like 30 minutes before the show. He goes, girl. But I'm glad it all went well for you.
Yes. So, yes. Bonnie, have you ever heard of what is the disease, K. Renee?
Peyronie's disease, or PD. Have you heard of that?
Girl, no. What is that?
Now, Bonnie, I didn't want to be ignorant early. Wait, Bonnie, I didn't want to be ignorant early, but I was like, is that something you pick up at an Italian restaurant? I didn't want to say it, but I was wondering. So now, what is it again, K. Renee?
Peyronie's disease is for most men can only get this. We don't get this, thankfully. It's the curvature of a man's penis. Or as we like to call it, a hook, you know what? When it's
to the left.
To the left.
To the left. To the left.
To the left.
To the left. Oh, sorry.
We should be laughing, but that's what.
Hey.
I mean, you know, we got, and then people putting up here what it is and everything. Curved erection. Oh my God. Okay.
See,
all right.
We have an intelligent audience. They know what PD stands for.
I never knew what it was. I did not.
Now that I know.
Yes. Well, Bonnie, it is a pleasure to welcome you back this evening. You're here tonight with us for a special occasion. You are on the board of the Broadcast Museum here in the city of Chicago, which is just a wonderful place. Whenever I get a chance, just so much knowledge and history is shared there. And because we're having this conversation about teachers, literacy, and our favorite African-American book authors, let's talk a little bit about this event, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Oh, well, thank you. The Museum of Broadcast Communications is a wonderful nonprofit museum which takes all media and broadcast and put it into the museum. I mean, Melody Span Cooper's in there, Yvonne Daniels is in there. There's some wonderful people who have just broken down the doors in media, TV, radio, and whatever. Well, one of my favorite shows is Abbott Elementary on ABC. Don't you love it?
I do.
The Museum of Broadcast Communications presents an evening with the stars of ABC's new hit comedy, Abbott Elementary. We're going to be having a conversation with Lisa Ann Walter and Cheryl Lee Ralph on a virtual conversation, which is going to be Tuesday, February 22nd from 7 to 8 p.m. And all of you are invited to come on aboard and be a part of this conversation. Go to, are you ready for this? www.museum.tv. www.museum.tv. You know what? Art Sims, you are the baddest thing on this thing. Look at him. He's got it up there. But yes, go to it. Get your tickets for it. It's going to be a wonderful conversation about the show, about teachers, and about the wonderful, wonderful job that teachers and educators are doing in trying to educate our children now. So make sure you get on there now. Go ahead.
And
get
Bonnie,
your ticket
you are
right
so
now.
right, because my late mother was a high school teacher, a biology teacher on the west side of Crane. She ended her career at Harlan, and I'll never forget when she made her transition. There were a few students from Crane that came to her celebration. They said, Mrs. Mason really taught us not only about biology, but she taught us about life. And that just warmed my heart. So I know the value. Unfortunately, I hope one day, and I mean one day soon, that whatever school district, I don't know who manages that really takes time in paying teachers, because to me they're undervalued and underappreciated. And I can't understand that why, because I can name my favorite teachers from kindergarten all the way up through college.
I'm telling you, because they are the ones that gave us our impressions. As a matter of fact, I have a teaching degree. Didn't want to teach. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't want to teach, but that teaching degree is what got me to Chicago to go ahead and do my path. But still, so many teachers in the urban areas just don't have, they're doing their best with so little to try to get supplies, to try to help our children, especially during this time when there's so much virtual school. And we need more men teachers too. You know, there's great need for male teachers. Did I lost my, no, there it is. I was looking for my earring. I'm sorry, y'all. You know,
that's all right. That's all right.
Just take our
Bonnie, I just didn't want you to do this while you was on the air. Right. I didn't want you to go fishing for it. Right. That would have really boosted ratings tonight. Right.
But we do need more male teachers, because when I was growing up back in the dark ages and the caveman days, we had, you know, you had being a teacher was like one of the main things you wanted to be growing up.
That's right.
Male and female. So, we need
Best
more men
teachers were men of all colors. Yes, they were. Yep. Absolutely. Yes. Bonnie, who was give me 3 of your favorite teachers throughout the course of your education? Can you remember 3 of your favorites?
My kindergarten teacher, Miss Johnson. I loved her. She was the kind that you wanted to carry the books, and when she said, "Oh, you can pass out the milk," oh my God, that was like the main person. In college, it was Dr. Ralph Lane, who was the head of the theater department. He was one of my great teachers that I loved. In high school, who was my teacher in high school that I really liked? Oh, we'll forget about that. Doris Salisbury was my other teacher in college theater teacher. And she's the one that actually got me the teaching job to teach theater here in Chicago. That made me come up to Chicago and move.
Wow, incredible. Kay Renee, I'm gonna let you go with 3 teachers and I'll tell you my 3.
Well, the first one has to be my mom. My mom was my first teacher. And so I always give praise to her. But, you know, through grammar school, Mrs. Marion Small, 7th and 8th grade, this woman, you know, she dressed the part, Bonnie, and she was voracious when it came to talking about poetry, writing, all the classics. And then in high school, I actually have 2. Mrs. Wilson, who taught typing, and that's why I got to type even with these nails. I was typing fast. And then Mrs. Robertson, who taught music, and I love to sing. And so she would make sure we were just on point. But in college, even though my background is accounting, there one teacher, Professor Charles King, who taught marketing. And I remember he said, to all y'all accountants, I'm glad you're taking this class, but you better remember one thing, and that's CYA. And y'all know what CYA stands for. Whatever you go through life, you better have a CYA file.
Wow. So. I'd have to admit my first grade teacher, Miss Mary Johnson, is somebody that I would never, ever forget. And she and my mom became friends as I got older. And I got a chance to go to Miss Johnson's house and see her in her home environment. And that made me just love her more. My 8th grade teacher, Miss Bernardo Like, I just loved her because she was cool, and we ended up, somehow family gatherings, hanging out, that type of thing. And then in high school, believe it or not, it was the dean of students, Mr. Schroeder. He was my advice counselor when I was in youth and government. And he would just let me, he was just the biggest support and mentor. And when I got in trouble, he was like, I knew you'd be back in my office again. I just knew it. I just knew it. He was like, you know how to unlock the door and take your ass on in there. Right. He was like, I knew you'd be back. Just don't sit in my office. Sit down. Just sit down. So, yeah. So those are my 3 favorite teachers. Well, ladies, I want to shift gears just a little bit to talk about your favorite Black authors of all times. As you guys all know, Phyllis Wheatley was the first to ever be published. Her poetry, things like that, Langston Hughes, Lorraine Hansberry, the list
James
goes,
Baldwin.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Zornia Hurston. Hurston.
Yes. So, Bonnie, I'm going to let you start off by talking about authors that have made the most impact. If you could, 3 that have made the most impact on your life. Well, you can do more. Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I'll start off with 3. And then if we got time, we'll go around again. Is that cool?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay. One of my favorite authors who became a very, very close, good friend of mine that I spoke with so many times during a week was Elin Harris. Oh. And that was one of yours, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, that's okay. That's all right.
Elin Harris, his spirit is still with us, but his books like tore the door open, on gay relationships. And in reading his book, I picked up his first book that I read of his, Invisible Life, in New York in the airport. By the time I landed in Chicago, I had finished the book.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then when I got to interview him and meet him and get to know him and everything, he was a great writer, wonderful content. And I'm sorry, Art, you can jump in on this one if you want to.
Go ahead. Finish. No, no.
Okay. Well, he is someone that you really, if you have not read anything from him, then you should. I'm into paranormal and horror and vampires and all that good stuff. Okay. And there's a lot of African-American writers that are great. Octavia Butler.
Damn, Bonnie, you done took my whole list. Did I actually email it to you? No, I'm just
joking. I wish like heck you had told me. See, that's how
me and you are so much alike, Bonnie. Dang. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
I'm gonna let you have Octavia.
No, okay? Go ahead, sweetheart. Please, you're doing a great job. This is your history lesson.
Octavia Butler was an American science fiction author, and she was so shy. She was such a shy person, even when she was a little girl. The first time I interviewed Octavia Butler and met her, it was like you wonder, who is this woman who has written all of these wonderful, deep kind of science fiction books, and she was just so quiet and introverted and everything like that. But her books were really good because, as I pick up here, I wrote some things out about her. She was the first science fiction writer to receive a MacArthur Fellowship. And her books is about time travel and just wonderful things. Kindred was one of the books that I read first. And it was modeled on slave narratives. It was published in 1979. It is the first person account of a young African-American woman writer who finds herself being shunted in time between Los Angeles, California, and back in pre-Civil War Maryland plantation. And it just gets your mind going. It's called Kindred.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I'm scared to say the third one.
No,
okay. Go ahead, Bonnie. Say the third one.
The third one is, and this isn't even, I mean, he's a great writer. Is from Chicago. His name is William Hayashi.
Yes.
And yes, William is fabulous. He wrote a trilogy called the Dark Side Trilogy, and their discovery, conception, and confrontation. This brother, okay, let me tell you about this story. Okay. In the trilogy, in the middle 1960s, a Black astrophysics student discovers how to control gravity but tells no one. Instead, he gathers a small group of his friends together in secret. They build a spacecraft, travel to the backside of the moon that doesn't show from the Earth, and built an underground colony well before Neil Armstrong shows up and gets there. Let me tell you this. When you start reading this book and you see the mental things of these Black people that are coming together, and he chooses different people from different areas and what they do. And then pretty soon you start believing this stuff, because why not? Why not? This could happen. William Hayashi is a wonderful writer. And
somebody asked if you could spell Hayashi's last name.
Hayashi. William Hayashi.
Very good.
And he's a African-American writer. So those are three of my favorites. And like I said, I'm into kind of paranormal stuff and stuff like that. But I've got more if we get.
All right, that's all right. K. Renee, who would you say are your three?
My goodness, I don't know if I could top that, but because I as Bonnie was talking, I was getting into that. I got to put that on my list.
Me too. I got it. Yep.
Of the three, actually, I've written four, but of the four, I had the opportunity to meet one of these writers and interview this individual. But the first book, which I learned by courtesy of Mrs. Marion Small, The Color Purple by Alice Walker. And that kind of changed.
Another one off of my list. Yep.
It changed my trajectory about the South. And, even though I've had both of my parents came from the South, but and then, of course, to see the movie, I was like, oh, my goodness. Really love that. The second book, as I got older, this woman who is just fierce in her own right, Terry McMillan, Waiting to Exhale. I was like, yes, Lord, I needed that, because when men act crazy, I needed. She was like my pillow when I would read at night. So how am I gonna deal with this Negro? Okay. But the third book that I had the opportunity to interview, and I've read several of her books because I'm into personal growth and development. Who do you think I'm talking about? Miss Iyanla Vanzant. The Value in the Valley. In the Meantime, Acts of Faith. I don't need to say any more. I had the privilege to interview her years ago, and she's everything that you see. When she had her own, that's who she is, and she is just so transparent and so just real. I was just like, this is a woman that she's one of my sheroes. So those are the three that I just really adore. And of course, the fourth one, I'm going to put Alex Haley's Roots. I read that after the series in 1977, because my mom ordered the book for me. I said, I want to read the book. When I saw it, I was like, okay, I got to do this in stages. It took me almost 5 months to read it, but I finished it. So.
You read all of Roots?
Sure did.
I read all of Roots.
Read it.
Oh, child, I cheated. I just watched faithfully every night. Oh my God.
And that interests me in genealogy. After that, I said, I really want to know about my family. Yeah.
Oh boy, Lord have mercy. Okay, well, since you guys have taken my whole list, I do want to give a shout out to Toni Morrison, author of Beloved. As you guys all know, she won a Nobel Peace Prize back in 1993 for her literary work. So that was a huge honor for her to have won that. Of course, Maya Angelou is a favorite of mine. Someone else that was really, Elin Harris was just, incredible in so many ways. There have been other LGBTQ authors that have done some great work as well too. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention James Baldwin, Raymond Bayard Rustin, just so many people that, you know, just have done incredible works to help us continue to move along, and to think it all happened starting with Phyllis Wheatley, you know what I'm saying? And where we are now. And then, of course, we would be remiss if we did not mention someone like Amanda Gorman.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Modern day, you know,
Gwendolyn Brooks. That's why I think of her as. Oh,
you got to say Gwendolyn Brooks. I mean, it's just to the point where there are so many great authors out here, and each generation has been so wonderful in having their own. I mean, as I was speaking with a friend of mine back in the caveman days when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s and whatever, when you ran across a dude or a group of dudes and they went into their pockets, they were pulling out a book and they were having serious discussions about this book, about what was going on, about what Baldwin was saying, what Wright was saying, who was doing this, who was doing that. That was the kind of stuff that got your mind going. And then you had all of the wonderful authors that broke all kinds of barriers down. I mean, Brenda Jackson going into the Gothic romance. They didn't have Black people writing about Gothic romance, you know, you know, or things like that. Pearl Cleage, who is a fabulous romance writer. Francis Ray, Any Rich Man Will Do, If You Were My Man, you know, some great romance stuff. But then you have some wonderful authors that were doing self-help things, like you said, with Iyanla Vanzant, or business things, you know, Lynn Richardson and Dennis Kimbrough and all of these. Les Brown, people who, and I wish I was reading more of the young writers now. That's one of the things I'm going to have to get into. There's a young science fiction writer from Chicago that I really enjoy, and her name is Jessica Cage. And she writes about vampires, werewolves, and stuff, but they got some serious sex stuff in those books too now.
Really?
Oh, baby.
Really?
Let's not forget Zane now, because you know that's why
Zane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Zane. Yeah.
Zane would make me blush. Like, oh, I said, oh, I had to put Zane down.
That's who I got inspiration from. I mean, I wrote my first book.
Shoot, yes. And there is a young lady that's from Chicago, and I mess up her name every time, so please forgive me. Oh shoot!
Narange Kai.
But it's not Narange. It's not. It's Nanalea Kai. Nana. I'd mess it up every single time.
I know
and every
who you're
time I
talking
see
about.
her,
Wait a minute.
you know.
Yes, wait.
N-A-N. How do you spell her name? N-A-N. You see, we're going for the phones to find out, because she's a wonderful writer. Her son is a writer also.
Yes, he is.
Yes, and both of them are fabulous. Nanalea Kai.
Yes, Nalea Kai.
She's gonna kill me. I was gonna say, because I never get it right, but she's a fabulous writer, and her son is a good writer too. All these great Chicago writers.
Yolanda Joe.
Yolanda Joe.
Yolanda Joe. That's right. I love Yolanda Joe. BB Moore Campbell. Somebody brought up.
Oh, BB Moore Campbell. Kimberly Lawson. Lawson.
What was the gentleman who recently passed away? Eric Jerome Dickey.
Yes, who just passed.
Yes,
he has
a
series out on Fox, called Our Kind of People. Yes,
absolutely. Well, ladies, this has been an amazing conversation about, you know, just literacy, Black authors that, you know, with this being Black History Month, I couldn't think of two better people to have this conversation with. Kay Renee, in closing, what do you want to say to Bonnie? as we always do, and having such a great guest like Bonnie on tonight for Black History. Oh, you know what? We do have to pay homage to our good friend, Mr. Michael Eric Dyson.
Dyson.
Yes.
Michael Eric Dyson. Yes, we do. Yes.
And his wife,
Eric Jerome Dickey, he passed a while ago. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe 2-3 years ago. Go right ahead, Kay Renee.
Well, first, Bonnie, again, thank you for sitting in yesterday. It means a lot. And I just want to know if you want to, because I could see a book within you. So is there any plans of you writing a book, Miss Bonnie DeShong?
Kay Renee, I have been asked that many times. And no, I haven't thought about writing a book. I haven't. I love to read them, but I don't even know what a story would be.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a story within you, Bonnie.
Yes. Yes.
I need a ghostwriter.
Yes, okay. She's an open book, but yes, absolutely. I'm with you, Kay Renee. Well, Bonnie, please tell us about the event one more time. I'll put the website up again. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And then tell everybody about your radio show, too.
Okay. The event is from the Museum of Broadcast Communications presents An Evening with the Stars of ABC's new hit comedy, Abbott Elementary. Lisa Ann Walter and Shirley Ralph. Is a virtual conversation being held Tuesday, the 22nd, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. And you can go to www.museum.tv to get your tickets for it. And I'll see you on the call when it comes on. We'll all be there having a great time. Yes. Also, if you'd like, you can find me every Saturday morning at 8:30 Central Time on the FM Omni channel. Download the app, and I'll be there. And it's Bonnie's Eye, and we have great conversations with interesting people. And you can go to my website. It's a long one, y'all. Bonnie's Eye to the Sky.com, and you'll get all the information about me. And if I may quickly say, my daddy told me when I was growing up, wherever you go, carry a book with you, because you can go anywhere in the world and just by reading a book. And this little girl growing up in Champaign, Illinois, on the north side, and wanting to find out where's everybody going other than Tennessee and St. Louis, open up a book. It'll take you anywhere, and it'll help you as you go through life.
Yes. Well, Bonnie, that is so beautiful. We got a little help with the book author and her son's name.
There.
Yes, absolutely. That is the correct name of the book author, the mom, and the son, and they both are incredible. Yes, they are.
I love them. They are incredible.
Yes, they are. They're incredible.
And incredible writers.
Yes, Crystal said, Bonnie, she loves you. She gave you a big shout out. She said the title of your book should be entitled Hey Baby.
That's right.
And then Debbie Green said, Hey Babe. So that's for you. Bonnie, you have done a great job. That advice that your dad gave you was really Earl G. Graves Sr. said the same thing about always having a book with you. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Yes.
Absolutely. Yep, and you know what? I fought the idea. I have a Kindle now.
Yeah, I know. You love books.
We love books. I like the dog-ear books, but when I took 14 books to Egypt, and the weight of my luggage was so heavy, I figured I needed to get a Kindle at least for traveling. But as you see, everywhere I go, you'll find me with a book everywhere.
Yes. Well, Bonnie, yes. See, I wouldn't have had that many books because I shop when I go international. So
I know you do.
Yeah, I would have need that for shopping, my dear. All right. Well, Bonnie, we love you so much. Scorpio Love says he love you as well too, Bonnie. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. The February 23rd, correct, Bonnie?
22nd.
222.
February
222.
22nd, 222. 222, you guys, please go sign up, be a part of it, and see this historic event. Our good friend, Mr. Jose Sanders, is hosting it, and it's going to be a great time. Thank you, Bonnie. We love you very much. Stay out of trouble, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, darling, okay?
Bye, Bonnie.
Bye. See you later, Bonnie. Oh, my God. That was incredible. The legendary Bonnie DeShong. Isn't she wonderful?
She is on point, on purpose, and just a beautiful soul.
Yes. Well, our next guest, I had the pleasure of meeting her earlier before we came on. And this is our first time meeting, but I now consider her family because she was so charming, so beautiful. And really, I'm excited to have her here tonight. She's a world-renowned healer, holistic healer. She's written over 33 books, and tonight she's here to talk to us about surefire ways to bust stress in our life, how we can enrich our lives physically, mentally, and spiritually. And Kay Renee, after the day you had yesterday with the refrigerator fiasco, I've had a few things recently. And then when we really look at it, this pandemic has added so much stress to our lives, from relationships to you name it. This pandemic has caused us a lot of havoc. And so tonight, to talk to us about just having a less stressful life is our new friend to the show, the incredible Miss Susan Jones Smith. Yay! Yay! Oh, wait. Hold on. It's on my end. I had to unmute your mic, Susan. Yay!
Hello. I'm so happy to be here with you both from, well, it's not sunny anymore, but Brentwood, Santa Monica area of Los Angeles.
Very good. Well, congratulations on the Super Bowl win.
Oh,
and
yes.
And I think the celebration parade was today, wasn't it?
It was, yes. It was huge. Thousands of people were there.
Very good. Well, we're glad to have you here tonight. It's an honor and a pleasure. We are always trying to find better ways to heal ourselves, to feel better, and do the right things. Please introduce yourself to our audience, and then let's get into this conversation.
Yes. So I learned all about holistic healing when I was a teenager from my grandmother. And my dad unexpectedly died when I was 15. And I gained in a year 50 pounds, ate everything in sight. Nothing was healthy. And I got arthritis, asthma, allergies, acne, and was bullied in school. I didn't want to live. And my grandmother took me under her wings, and she had me live with her for a while. And she taught me how to eat my foods close to nature, how to juice, how to make sprouts like broccoli and alfalfa sprouts. But she taught me how to heal body, mind, and spirit. She was not a doctor, but she was wise in the ways of just living close to the earth. And she taught me that God has given us this miraculous body. And one of our gifts back to God is to take the best care of our body that we can. My nickname was Sunny. So she'd say, Sunny, your attitude is your mind's paintbrush. It can color anything. And even though the body reflects the mind reflects the spirit, the body is a great place to start. So after I worked with her for about 7 years, learned how she helped people in her neighborhood, I then went to UCLA, got several degrees. I then taught at UCLA for 30 years, students, staff, and faculty, how to be healthy and fit. And then in 2000, I retired so that I could travel around the world and teach people how to keep their bodies healthy. And because of my grandmother's wisdom, to this day, I've never taken any medication in my life because I know the foods, the culinary spices, the lifestyle practices. I'm not telling anyone to go off medication, but I'm saying that there are natural ways to heal your body. And with all the stress we're we're all going through these days, it's important to keep your body and your immune system as healthy as possible.
Well, you know what? We've been saying this entire pandemic. The one thing that I was not going to let be a deterrent during this pandemic was my pre-existing health conditions. I said every day, Susan, I woke up feeling the same way I was feeling before this pandemic. So I did not have any added health issues during this pandemic because I started pumping vitamins into my system. I started cutting my calorie intake. I started doing things a lot different. I even recalibrated my mental thinking during this pandemic. So that's why we're honored to have you tonight as a guest to help us continue this on.
Oh, thank you so much. And we're really talking about how to claim victory over a stressful lifestyle. And as my grandmother and mom taught me, that it's not really the people in your life or the complications or the times in which we live, but it's what you think about the people, the complication, and the times. It's all about attitude. You've got to have that attitude of gratitude. When you have gratitude in your life, when you are appreciative of what you have and you focus on the positive. First of all, last year at Harvard, they did a great study on the people who are the most optimistic will live 10 to 15% longer than pessimistic people. But when you are grateful, not only does that make you feel good, but it literally changes the vibration of the 70 trillion cells that you have in your body. It makes them vibrate at a higher level. And then also being just appreciating something. I always say, be a beauty seeker, appreciating beauty, like God's beauty and nature all around, and just being grateful for what you have, focusing on that. That will boost your immune system. It will lift your mood. It takes away aches and pains. And it is so good for your body. And gratitude to me is like a connecting link or a bridge between all possible channels of good. It's a dynamic energy that allows you to exert a mighty influence on your life. So be thankful. And I say, don't wait till Thanksgiving, the third Thursday in November, to count your blessings each and every day. Count your blessings. Because what you think about, you bring more of the same back into your life. And if Fritzy, my grandmother would say, if all you did each day when walking your path is to live thankfully, you will be peaceful, you will be happy, you will be joyful. And she is really right about that. I know it's easier said than done, but we're in charge of what we think about.
I love it. I love it. I want to get into some of your tips that you wanted to share tonight. I'm going to go through the list and let you kind of explain everything to us. You said set the tone each morning. And I could not agree more with you about that. I was just telling my friend that, in the mornings, I need space and time to just connect with the world. What advice would you give people about setting the tone each morning?
Yes, the first 40 minutes of the day sets the tone for the entire day. So how do you want those 40 minutes to be? You want it to be peaceful and joyful and happy and not rushed and healthy. So maybe the night before you set the table for breakfast. Maybe you lay out your exercise clothes or your work clothes. Maybe you get the kids or grandkids' lunches ready. But whatever you can do, make those first moments of the morning as peaceful and relaxing as possible. I do my prayer and meditation in the morning, and then I usually do a workout. I like to get it out of the way in the morning because there can be so many reasons not to work out later in the day. So it's good to get it out in the morning. And breakfast, it's important to have breakfast. Start your day on a healthy note as well, and that will help you make better choices throughout the day.
Okay, so point number 2 was to get moving. She talked about exercise and fitness, you guys. So make sure you get moving. Her point number 3 was eat a stress relieving, colorful fiber-rich diet. Now, help us to understand that one a little bit better.
Yes,
See,
yes,
I actually think a colorful breakfast would be a chocolate Long John donut with maybe some strawberry I know. I'm a bad boy. I am, Susan. So tell us what that diet should look like. I know.
Yes. Now let me just make a comment and exercise. Walk your dog every day, whether you have a dog or not. And Henry David Thoreau said an early morning walk is a blessing for the entire day. And he's absolutely right. A stress relieving diet is all about eating foods that are high in water content. So make that the emphasis of what you eat, your fresh fruits and your vegetables, and they will go a long way towards helping reduce the risks of cancer, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, depression, to eat as many raw fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables have more nutrients than any food. Fritzy would always say to me, Susan, look to nature for what to eat, because in nature, well, you don't find ice cream trees and donut vines and potato chip bushes. So you eat a colorful diet. If your plate looks like a fiesta, and I'm not talking about colored candy or donuts, but if it looks like a fiesta, you're probably doing all right. And don't overeat. Don't overeat.
Yes, do not overeat. Okay, very good. Point number 4 is something that I have been trying to do, and I've been trying to do this for a number of years, is get more sleep, more Z's. I wonder about people who don't sleep. And so what do you feel about sleep and how important is it?
Oh, listen, we can't be our best unless we get good sleep at night. If you want to get older really quickly, if you want to gain weight very easily, if you want to be depressed most days, then don't get a lot of sleep. But our body needs between about 7 and 8 hours of sleep at night. It's important to get those good hours of sleep. Maybe on another show, we'll do the whole show on how to sleep like a baby. I've got a lot of tips on how to do that. But you want to make sure a couple things. You want to have your bed linens, your sheets, and your pajamas, if you wear them, natural fiber, not polyester, because that interferes with your body's rhythm. And you don't want to use a cell phone before you go to sleep at night, because that changes your brainwave activity and makes it harder to sleep. Mm-hmm. And if you have alcohol at night, and if you have colas or caffeinated drinks, that's all going to interfere with sleep. So you got to make good sleep non-negotiable in your life.
Very good. I couldn't agree with you more. I also found out as I got older and I was having health issues that you've got to be careful about the thread count of your sheets as well, too. I used to have 900 thread count sheets, and they were like sleeping under a tarp. And that's what caused me to have hot flashes. So, so you have to be careful about that, too.
Yes. And even though it could be winter and cold, you want the window cracked open a little bit. You want fresh air. A live plant in your bedroom gives off what? Oxygen. And it takes up carbon dioxide. So that will help you sleep. A few drops of essential oil of lavender on your pillow is also a good thing. And I would say don't watch the nightly news at night, because even though you think you're very evolved and it doesn't affect you, it's very difficult not to be affected by what's on the nightly news.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
When you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, don't flip the light on full stream, because that shuts down the melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Have a little faint night light to help you in the bathroom.
Yes, very good. Oh, so we love you, Susan. All right. The next thing you said is stay hydrated. Tonight, I'm trying to complete this bottle before the night is over. Okay, here's the good health. Okay, let's talk about hydration.
Cheers to all of you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, hydrated. So listen to this. Your body is 70% water. Your cells are 70% water. Planet Earth is 70% water. I don't think that's a coincidence. 80 75 to 80% of Americans are dehydrated, and just 3% dehydration in your body will lower your metabolism, which means you'll gain weight quicker. It makes you foggy, gives you brain fog, suppresses your immune system. That's the last thing any of us want right now. So keep a bottle of water with you all the time. I should have put it here. I forgot. But what I like to do sounds weird, but you know, a cinnamon stick is curled up, tight stick.
Yep.
And cinnamon, a little cinnamon stick in your water, and then you transfer it from glass to glass, bottle to bottle. After 2 days, that stick will uncurl, and you throw it away or put it in the soil, and you add a new stick. Why do you do that? Because it gives it a faint flavor note of cinnamon, makes the water taste great. It boosts your immune system. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, it balances out your blood sugar level. And it's a great conversation piece. You walk around with your bottle with a cinnamon stick. People come up and say, "What is that in your water?" And you tell them, and they'll see how smart you are. And you tell them why cinnamon's good for them. So that's an interesting and healthful way to drink more water. But keep a bottle with you. If you're working at your desk all day, keep a jug of water with you. And you want to, how much you want to drink? Half of your body weight in ounces of water. Don't wait to drink it all before you go to bed at night. In fact, try to drink nothing 90 minutes before you go to bed, so because you don't want to keep getting up and using the bathroom at night.
Wow. I love your advice about cinnamon, because I put heavy cinnamon powder in my coffee every morning. And
I love that.
I've been drinking cinnamon in my coffee for years now because of what you said. Somebody taught me that. I was in Dubai, and somebody taught me to put cinnamon in your coffee for your blood pressure, diabetes, all of that. And that's why I put cinnamon in my coffee.
I love that. Now, one other little tip if you want to look younger. Lack of moisture in our faces creates wrinkles the way lack of moisture in grapes creates raisins. So you got to keep, you make a commitment for 3 days. I'm going to drink a minimum of 7 to 8 glasses of water in meal, so you don't lose your digestive enzymes. You will see within 3 days your skin will be glowing. And I'm 122 years old, and see what water's done to me.
Wait, Susan. We had a bad internet connection. Hold on. You said you were what now?
123 years old.
No, you're not, Susan. No, you look amazing if you are. That would be incredible, but we know you.
That would be incredible.
Yes, but
you know what? In Genesis, in the Bible, it says that we're supposed to live to 120 years old. And I believe if we would take better care of our bodies, we're the president and CEO of our body and our life. And rather than having excuses, well, Susan, I like what you say, but I'm going to have to wait till next month. It's my birthday, my anniversary. I'm going on vacation. It's the church's bake sale. I'm under too much stress. When you let your excuses get in the way, you never get to the top of that mountain of soul achievement. Get your excuses out of the way, and you commit to keeping this body temple as healthy as possible. That is one of our gifts back to God.
This has been a master class. This is look,
Is it over?
No, not yet. But hey, Kay Renee, I know you always want to take personal time with our guests and talk about just how phenomenal she is. Susan, and don't worry, you have an open invitation to come back to visit us anytime. We're your new relatives in Chicago.
I thought we had 5 hours.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, whenever you ready, we ready. Look, Susan, we would love to have you on as a regular. Kay Renee, let's talk to our beautiful guest about her presentation.
Kay Renee, how are you?
I am good, Susan. I've just been listening, because there's always good to listen. You don't need to speak all the time, but just listen. And I really
we're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth, and God was telling us something.
Exactly. And so thank you so much for your wisdom. Besides your Nana, because that's what she was to you, who inspires you to continue to being the best and keeping that beautiful temple that we all see before us? Who inspires you?
Well, it was my grandmother and it was my mother. Those were like my biggest influences. I'm also a Christian, and I'm a big believer in Jesus, and I feel like Jesus walks with me every day. So that's probably my biggest inspiration. I know I do. I live a very strong faith-based life, and I live my life for God. When I'm doing the dishes, God's with me. When I'm pulling weeds in the backyard, God's with me. If I'm vacuuming, if I'm talking to people, I like to feel that connection. And in the Bible, in Psalms 46:10, it's peace be still. And so what I like to do every hour on the hour, except when I'm sleeping, is I'll take a long, slow, deep breath in, and I'll say to myself silently, if I'm with other people, doesn't matter, nobody will know. And I say peace. And I hold the breath for a couple seconds, and then I exhale slowly and I say, be still. Inhale to peace, exhale to be still. I do it when I'm driving too. Traffic here in LA is crazy.
Right.
That was one benefit of all this COVID stuff, was it was like a holiday every day because not many people were out driving.
Right.
And when you do that just deep breathing exercise and affirm something positive. I like the I am affirmations, like I write about in Wired for High Level Wellness. Affirm to yourself, what is it you want? I am peaceful. I am blessed. I am victorious. I am love. I am joy. I am happy. I am healed. I am grateful. You just pick what you want. I often say every day in every way I'm getting, and I name 3 things: healthier, wealthier, and younger. Those aren't bad things to affirm.
No, that's my new affirmation, Susan. Say it again. What are those 3 things?
Every day in every way I am getting, and say it with enthusiasm: healthier, wealthier, and younger. Ralph Waldo Emerson said nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And my grandmother, I'll say this, we were talking about food. You got to eat foods with lots of fiber. Only plant-based foods have fiber. Animals don't. And my grandmother would always say to me, and who else would talk to you about this but Susan? She would say, Susan, you've got to make sure you have one good bowel movement every day. And if you're lucky, a couple more bonus rounds.
Yep. My mother and grandmother used to say that as well, too.
Yep.
Same here.
Yep. I look at people when they say that they don't have a bowel movement every day, or I know people who have only had them once a week or whatever. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right. Yes.
That makes your body so toxic, and that depresses you. It suppresses your immune system, and you can't be vibrantly healthy unless you've got good gut health. Make sure you eat probiotic foods and you take a good probiotic supplement. And by the way, I have a free Healthy Living monthly newsletter. If you go to SusanSmithJones.com.
We get ready to put it up there for you. Yep, we get ready to put it up here on the screen for you.
Yes, and you can sign up for the newsletters or get my book. It's Wired for High Level Wellness: Simple Ways to Rejuvenate. Because I can take anybody. You give me 30 days, in 1 month, you will look and feel 10 years younger. It happens with everybody. So simple ways to rejuvenate, meditate, and prosper. The book is worth the small price for the chapter on how to get on the abundance train and how to be a magnet for blessings and miracles.
I love it. Susan, show your book again on the screen to everybody. This has been incredible. Wired conversation.
For High Level Wellness: Simple Ways to Rejuvenate, Meditate, and Prosper. And there's a brain, and I've got 2 good chapters on how to keep your brain healthy without brain fog well into your golden years. And there's a way, if you go on my website, click on new book and go to Wired for High Level Wellness, and there's a way to get an autographed copy from me. I get the order, I sign the book, I make a note card for you, and I also put a bookmark in it. And then I put it in an envelope. I go to the post office in Brentwood and I mail them all over the world. And I love doing that.
Oh my God, Susan, we love you so much. It was an honor
I love
and a
you
pleasure.
too.
We will have to have you back whenever you're ready to come back. It would be a pleasure and an honor to have you just share. I see so many segments with us because you are giving just really great words of wisdom. And that's what people need to hear now more than ever. It does not matter about the color. It matters about the heart. And that's what
Oh
we
my
appreciate.
goodness. Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm just curious. I have no mic on. A lot of people wear, the earbuds and the cord. Can you hear me all right?
We can
Yes.
hear you wonderfully. You
Fine.
did a great
Yes.
job.
Oh,
This is,
good,
your
good.
color lighting, everything is excellent. And you did, look, I'm just so happy to have
Well,
met
you
you
helped
tonight.
me, Art. Before
Yeah.
if you didn't help me beforehand, I don't think I'd be here.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh.
My audience is loving you. They said, great guest. They really love you. Scorpio Love said, Susan, you are absolutely a joy. And I learned so much from you. You're incredible, Susan. You really, really are. Thank
You
you for
so
spending
much.
time with us. We'll have you back. Kay Renee, say goodnight to our amazing guests.
Good night.
Thank
Happy
you.
belated Valentine's Day, and have a
Oh,
wonderful week.
yes. And every day is a love day.
It is.
Yes,
It
it
really
is.
is. Thank you,
Yes.
Susan. We love you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen,
you.
go to her website, susanjonesmith.com.
No. Let me say it's Susan Smith Jones.
Oh, wait. I apologize. Hold on. Let me write. I made you another. I'm sure people get that mixed up a lot because that's amazing how your names are like Jones and Smith.
I know. Now
yeah.
listen, if I ever get married, I think his last name should be Brown. Then I'll have all of America's most common names.
That's right. That's right. I apologize.
Susan Smith Jones.
I got you. Here we go. I'll put it.
SSJ.
Yes, here we go. Susan Smith Jones. Yes. Correct?
That's right.
Yes, very good. All right, you guys go to her website, take a visit. She'll if you purchase her book, you'll get an autographed copy. She's just an amazing person. We're going to have her back on the show whenever she's available, and we'll talk about some other things. Springtime is coming, and that's a perfect time to reset your clock as well, too.
And
Amen.
detoxify your body. Spring
Very
clean
good.
your body.
Very good. Well, Susan, thank you so much again. God bless you and have a wonderful evening. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, we love you. Oh, that was incredible. Wasn't she beautiful? Oh my God.
Another master class.
I know.
Another master class on Wednesday night. How about it?
Oh my God. I can't wait to tell her publicist how much I just adore her. She's amazing. That's amazing. We met beforehand. I helped her out. She was so kind and generous and just she knocked it out the ballpark tonight. She really did.
Yes, she did.
All right. Well, darling, anything else you have to say before we have to skedoodle and get out of here? I know you want to give your nugget of knowledge. What's going on with you ladies this Saturday?
Well, this Saturday, as I mentioned, even though we're now starting year 2 of Candid Conversations, this Saturday, we're just going to get candid about a lot of topics. May talk about PD.
Oh, boy. And that's that crooked penis, huh? That's that crooked penis.
Curvature
penis. Okay, crooked curvature. Okay, well, thank you, Lord. I don't have that problem. Okay. I got 99 issues, but that ain't one. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, let's do that Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, darling, so we can get out of here tonight. This has been a great show.
Yes, it has. And as you know, we're still celebrating, even though Black History is in February, we celebrate it every day. But this nugget comes from the first African-American Supreme Court Justice, Mr. Thurgood Marshall. And he writes, none of us got where we are solely by pulling ourselves by our bootstraps. We got here because somebody, a parent, a teacher, an Ivy League crony, or even a few nuns bent down and helped us pick up our boots. And this is Wise Words Wednesday. Hashtag be thankful for your village.
Oh my God, I love that. Be thankful for your
For
village.
your village.
I appreciate that. Right. I feel as if we're a village. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We are a village.
The older I get, the more I find out you've got to develop what you want through other people. People will disappoint you to no end. So you've got to develop what you want from other people. And I feel as if I'm in my groove right now of what I want. For more information about this young lady, go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com, karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. She has all the wisdom you need to know, and we just love and appreciate her. A lot of great feedback tonight. Thank you, Wamelda. We appreciate you so much. Wonderful show tonight. Enjoy the guests. Have a blessed weekend. Debbie Green, thank you so much. Your shows are always amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you. Watika, thank you. Debbie, thank you. Beth, thank you so much. Scorpio Love, we appreciate you as well. Crystal, as always, my darling. Miss Teresa, we appreciate you. Miss Therese. Who else do we have tonight? Thank you to, where's Preston tonight? Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Going to enjoy my binge day tomorrow. It's pouring now. Oh, boy. Let me check out everything outside. Okay. Okay, Renee, I love you, dear. Yeah, be safe.
I love you more.
Enjoy your new refrigerator. For more information about yours truly, please go to therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. If you've not done so yet, please subscribe to the show on YouTube. So important that you do so. Helps us out to continue to keep bringing these great shows to you. We'll be back Monday night, and Monday night we'll start our series on paying homage to Black businesses. Black businesses. Historic Black businesses, famous Black business leaders, and we'll meet trend-setting new Black business owners. Trendsetters. All right now. On behalf of my co-host, the amazing Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, and yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, we thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you on Monday night. Monday. Bye. 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 Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.